Welcome back to Learning Partner. So in this video, we are going to see how we can achieve drag and drop in Angular. And we are not going to use any third-party library to achieve this. We will simply use the events we have like drag start, drag drop. Okay. Right. So by using basic functions, we are going to achieve this. Now the scenario we are taking is like Jira board. Right. So most of you must have heard about Jira, or someone might be using it also, right? So in Jira we have the board where we can see the tickets and we can move those tickets regarding that status, right? So I just need a CSS. So I'm using ChatGPT to get that particular CSS. No need to waste your time to designing that particular board and write the CSS. Just Google it or go to ChatGPT and get the code. So what I'm going to search is Kanban board HTML CSS. It will provide you the basic board. Okay. So let it load. Yes. So this is going to be my HTML. Let's copy this. Let me paste it over here. Let's say. Okay, so currently it is coming like this. Now we need the CSS also. So CSS with CSS will be over here. Let's see how does it look now. Yeah, so you can see it is looking like this. Let's just add some static data over here also. So you can see we have three status like to do, in progress, and done. In each respective status, we have some task also. So the objective is that I can drag this task one and paste it over in progress or in done also, and like versa, right? So I can move this by just simply dragging and dropping. So we are going to do this by using the simple drag start and drop on drop events provided by Angular only, right? So first thing is like we are going to need an array of tickets. So these are nothing but task or the tickets we can say. So I have just created a array that I'm going to copy paste in my component.ts. Just format it. Right. So you can see this is an array of object where I have the properties like ticket ID, ticket name, and status. Just like that, status is like in progress. Then we have some to do tickets, and then we have some done tickets also. Now, what I have to do is like first I need to show these tickets in respective. You can see I have three columns. First is for to do, then second is for in progress, and third is for done. But I don't have the separate array, right? I just have a simple single array, but I can create a function which is going to filter us out the data according to the status. So I'm creating one method, filter tickets, and for this function one parameter will be there. So that parameter, let's say status, that will be string. Now what I have to do is I'm just going to return the data by filtering tickets array dot filter lambda expression. So I'm going to compare with status equal to this status, whatever the parameter I get, I'm going to pass it over here. So now just pay attention, like this function is responsible to get us the filtered ticket, whatever the status we send. Now this function I'm going to use in HTML, where on this ticket. So ng for, instead of the variable, I'm going to pass the function, and here I have to pass in progress and whatever the things we have, various status. So first was in progress. So let me just copy, pass it over here. And let me remove this. Just like this, we are going to copy paste and just the status will be different. Here it will be done. The first one should be to do and middle one should be in progress. Right. And since it is a for loop, so instead of this static test, I'm going to show whatever the task name we have, item dot ticket ID. Save. Right. So let's save and check it now. So you can see whatever the tickets I had in the to-do status that are visible over here, whatever the tickets I had in the in progress state that are visible over here, and same like in the done state also. Let me just show you. So in to-do, we had 4 tickets. So you can see, so in to-do, we had 4 tickets. Now what we have to do, let's just show the details also. The ticket name, BR tag, item dot ticket name we can show. Let's see one more time. Okay, so you can see we have shown the tickets. Now our main task is going to start that we should be able to drag and drop this, right? Suppose I have to move this Jira 002 to in progress state, so I should be able to drag and drop it in this particular panel. Now, first thing we are going to need is we have to use the functions that are provided by the Angular. Those are drag and the drop event, right? So first event we are going to write is when we are starting to drag, means drag start event. So that will be on the particular div, that is this div, that is task. Okay. So here we have to write the event in round bracket, drag, control space. Why it is not suggesting? Start. Okay. So now this is the event when we start to drag, right? So that is the event. So here I will be creating on drag start and I will be passing the item, whatever the item I am dragging, right? So this function I have to create. Let me just minimize this. So first event, that is drag on drag start. And from HTML, what I'm sending? The current item, right? So that I need to catch it over here, item colon any. Now I need one variable to store like which item is getting dragged, right? So current item colon any. Whatever the item I'm dragging, that I will store in this variable. So this dot current item is equal to item, right? So whatever the current item I'm getting, I'm dragging, that particular object will be stored over here. Now, next thing, let's say I'd start. Now this function will be needed over all the ng for tickets, right? Then once I start dragging, the next event will be once I drop, right? So where I will be dropping on this particular column. So first thing on this column, we need to write the event drop on drop event. First dollar event we can pass, and then the status, like where we are going to drop. So this column is for to do. So we can just pass it over here like this. Let me just copy paste this on all the columns. Just in status will be different. And this will be done. Now let's create this function on drop. So for on drop, we have two parameters. First is the event, right? So let's create event colon any, and second will be status. Now, what we have to do over here is just write it right. So when we drag and drop over here, so what we are going to do, we are going to send the status like on where, I mean on which column you are dropping. Let's say you started from in progress and you are dropping on to do. So where to drop is to do, right? An item you are storing, the draggable means the current item which you are dragging, that you have in the current item. So now what the logic is, whenever you are dropping one ticket to any other status, you just need to change the status of that ticket, right? So what I'm trying to say is, let me just say, wait. When I'm dragging, currently we are not able to drag and drop. That is because one event is extra event we have to implement. One extra event is there, that is drag over, that we need to implement. So on every column, we are going to implement that. It is drag over on drag over round bracket, and we are going to pass event only. So that is $event. Let's create let me just copy paste this. And we need to create this function. And here we are just simply stopping that event from happening. So we are passing event colon any, and here simply event dot prevent default, right? So let's just save and check if we are able to drag. Let's just add the console also. This is for drag over, on drop, and drag start. Let's see how many events get triggered. So if I'm trying to drag this, I'm still not able. Okay, one more extra thing is remaining, that is draggable true. We are not able to drag because we haven't said for that particular element that we can drag or not. So here draggable true is needed. We are, by adding this property, we are saying like, yes, we can drag this particular element. So now we will be able to drag it. So you can see something is happening, right? But event.prevent is not, okay, spelling mistake is there, so I will correct it. Let me just correct the spelling. Let's save and check it once again. So if I try to drag and drop, see everything is happening. Why it is saying event is not? Let's just add a debugger and check the spelling. Event event default. Let me just copy paste. Yeah, so spelling mistake was. Now, if I'm dragging and dropping, let me just disable. So you can see consoles are getting printed properly. Now, what I have to do, I'm able to drag and drop, but the element is not getting dropped over here, because when we are dropping, we need to change the status of this ticket with the wherever we are dropping. So for that, the draggable item we have stored in the current item, right? So when we drop, we need to write simple constant. So from this array, we need to find particular ID. And this dot find the condition will be dot. We are going to match the data with ticket ID. Ticket ID is equal to this dot current item dot ticket ID. The draggable item we have stored in this particular variable. Again, not undefined check we can add. Record not equal to undefined. So if record is not equal to undefined, we just going to update the status. Status is equal to whatever the status we get from the dropped area. And we are just going to make this null. Once we drop that, we can make it null. And this event.prevent default, we are going to need it over here also. So let's save and check it one more time. Now it should work. Okay, so let's say this user registration task was in the to-do status. Now, if I'm dragging and dropping into the in progress, you can see it came here. Now this layout page, I want to make it to the done state. So you can say layout page is in the done state, right? So like this, you can drag and drop. So we have used the normal event also, but with that event, we have just added the logic. Like when we start to drag, the item which we are dragging, we have stored that into one variable, right? Means we know like which item is currently being dragged, right? But when we drop, right? So the drop event. So that is drop event. When this event get triggers, we are sending the status like where you are dropping, right? So what we have did on drop first, from that particular tickets array, we have find that ticket ID, the draggable ID, current record we have found, then we have just updated the status of that ticket. Means when you are dragging this, we have stored that this Jira 001 ticket data into current variable, right? Once we drop it, we are just going to find that particular element from the array and we are going to update the status with in progress. That's it. But when you look at it, it looks like we are actually dragging and dropping. So this is the simplest logic which you can do. And this is a custom code. So you have the control over it, right? So with these three functions, you can implement the drag and drop. So this is an array where you have the ticket data. This is an extra variable. This function is for filtering the data because we had three columns, right? To do, in progress, and so in each state, we need to show the particular status ticket. So for that, in ngFor, by you rather than passing the array, we have called the function and send the status like which tickets we need, right? Then on the tickets, we have written one event that is drag start, and we have passed the item. So on drag start, whatever the item we get, we have stored that into current item. Then once we drop it on the parent column, so on drop event is there and we are sending the status, and we are just finding the particular item from that array and we are just updating the status, whatever we get it over here. That's it. So with this simple piece of code, you can achieve the drag and drop. This is again a machine test scenario. Most of the companies are looking rather than basic CRUD operation. Most of companies are looking for something out of the way machine test coding samples. So this is kind of a code you should have handy, right? So that's it with this current video. In next video, again, I will try to take some of the interview questions or the machine test example. That's it. Please do subscribe and like my videos.